I have a quick question for you. Which three things do you associate with Canada? I'm no mind reader, but there's a good chance you thought of maple syrup, ice hockey, and education. Our next story is about that last bit, education. Have you ever considered an education abroad? If you don't already live in Canada, there's a good chance it was on your list. It's one of the top destinations for international students worldwide. And fun fact, it's the most popular among Indian students. The country had more than 800,000 foreign students with active visas last year, 8 lakh students last year. The number has almost tripled in the last decade. Sounds like a good thing, right? Well, apparently it isn't. The huge inflow of students is putting pressure on their housing market. Prices are skyrocketing, and now Canada is considering a cap on student visas. Here's a report.
This may sound odd, but our next story is about an even number, 800,000. That's how many students sought education outside their home countries in 1975. By 2013, this number had grown more than fourfold. For the first time, 100,000 international students were studying in Canada, and the maple-loving nation saw this as a sweet victory. But it wasn't enough. Canada saw how lucrative this market was. It wanted to become the hub of international education. It wanted to double its number of international students by 2022 to 200,000. Cut to last year, when Canada didn't just do that, it achieved the much higher even number we talked about. While in 1975, the world had 800,000 international students, in 2022, that's how many foreign students had active visas in just Canada. The country did what it set out to. It has the third highest number of international students worldwide, after the US and UK. Last year, it welcomed students from 184 countries, setting a record. A majority of the foreign students in Canada came from India, over 200,000 of them. After all, Canada is the top destination for foreign education among Indians, and Canada has benefited from all of this. Foreign students contribute over $15 billion to its economy annually. A lucrative market indeed. Everything sounds good, right? But the reality isn't that sweet. You must have heard the famous adage, "Be careful what you wish for." It kind of applies to Canada, thanks to a bit of spillover. Now, Canada has so many students, it's creating pressure on the housing market. The cost of housing is rising, and the timing is bad. Elections are looming. They must be held by October 2025. And until then, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau needs to get his act right. He is under fire for mismanagement of the economy and for making housing unaffordable for many. The Canadian government needs to act quickly, so it has proposed a solution. And it's bad news for prospective students. Canada wants to curb the pressure on housing by capping foreign student visas. The government has blamed the sharp rise in the number of students, and as a solution is considering limiting them. The decision hasn't been made yet, but it's certainly a front-runner. This will be a big dampener for students who have set their eyes on Canada. The country has long been a good option for education. It comes with easy-to-get work permits and good immigration opportunities. If the decision is taken, all this could change. Experts say this step may not be necessary. They have some other ideas to curb the housing prices, like changes in taxation on construction or sale of rental projects. The Canadian government is currently looking at all its options, but chances are the cap will be executed. Because what is the point of bringing in a record number of students if they don't have a place to live?